London calling, now don't look to us. Phony Beatlemania is bitten the dust. London calling, see we ain't got no swing except for the rain and the crunch of thing. The ice age is coming, the sun's zooming in. Meltdown expected, the wheat is going thin. Engines stop running, but I have no fear, cause London is drowning. I live by the river to the imitation zone. Forget it, brother, you can go it alone. London calling to the zombies of death. Quit holding out and draw another breath. London calling, and I don't want to shout, but while we were talking, I saw you nodding out.
Welcome along to London Calling. Welcome back, and thankfully we've got a great result to reflect on. We've got plenty coming up over the course of the next hour. We've got an exclusive interview with Ars striker Andy Johnson. He spoke to us after the 3-0 victory on Tuesday night against Bournemouth. On top of that, we've got the first sneak peek of issue 4 of The Insider. There's plenty in there. There's an exclusive interview with Joey Barton, with Clive Allen. We've got our Ask the Lads feature with John Gregory, Peter Hucker, Ian Gillard, Steve Wicks. We've also got Rob Green and Phil Park sat together to discuss what life is like as a QPR goalkeeper. There's plenty in there. As I say, a sneak preview is coming up very shortly. As well as that, we look back to yesteryear, 10 years ago, in fact, the 2003-4 squad. They returned on Tuesday. We're out on the pitch at half-time here at Loftus Road. We've got coverage of that, exclusive coverage of that. We'll be getting plenty more as well, and also we're looking back on 2 results as well as the Bournemouth game. We've got to look back on the Doncaster game. We've got to do the whole shebang, so we'll try and rattle through that as quickly as we can. And we've got the QPR stat of the week, and we've got Jack Milner joining us from Bet Victor, and we've got a competition as well to win 2 tickets to Saturday's game here at Loftus Road against Blackburn. That's all here. We want to get your thoughts, so use hashtag LCI to get in touch, or give us a call, 07557 435 710. You're watching London Calling, brought to you in association with Equate.
It's a natural energy drink containing only natural ingredients: fruit juices, ginseng, guarana, green tea, and just a nip of natural caffeine from the green coffee bean. And there's enough fruit juice in each can to give you one of your 5 a day. Need a natural lift? Try Equate.
OK, and I'm delighted to say I'm joined by Brian Melzack as well. Good evening, Brian.
Evening, how are you?
Yeah, I'm very good, thanks, mate. Yourself?
Delighted there was a game on Tuesday, because I didn't really want to come in here on the back of Saturday.
Yeah, this is true. And I know this is the important part right at the start of the show, where everyone wants to know what challenge Brian has got this week.
I want to know as well, because there's, you know, the old days with the competition, I'd know what the competition was.
Yeah.
Got no idea.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you details right now.
Oh, good. OK, go on.
I mean, you don't know how much time is spent.
Well, I actually
in trying to think up an idea
of what goes on up there.
Right, but we'll go through it as quickly as we can. Right, this is to win 2 tickets to the game against Blackburn on Saturday here at Loftus Road. What you have to do is guess how many coins, there's 10 coins here, how many coins Brian Melzack will catch when they start on his elbow. So it's the old trick of, boom, simple. I think 8, 9, I think 10 probably.
You never know. Can I do it standing up or sitting down?
Sitting down.
Oh, right, OK.
An added challenge, and also the excitement factor
I know when you said
of where will the shrapnel go.
Absolutely, the 3 musketeers in front of us.
Exactly. So we've got that coming up. To win 2 tickets, all you have to do, hashtag LCI.
I might have to warm up.
Go between 0 and 10. How many coins will Brian Melzack successfully
catch? Won't be 112.
Although Will Pound will probably predict that. And you can win 2 tickets to Saturday's game here in W12 against Blackburn. Big game as well, because you look at the league table as we go into the Christmas period. Exciting. Also, the topic of debate for this week, and that is, after switching to 2 out-and-out strikers against Bournemouth, do you think we should stick with that formation on Saturday? Of course, we've largely played 4-5-1 over the last couple of months. We went with 2 strikers in Andy Johnson and Charlie Austin against the Cherries, won 3-0, our best win of the season quite comfortably. Do you think we should stick with 2 strikers now for the visit of Blackburn this weekend, or go back to 4-5-1? Brian, what are your thoughts on that?
Interesting, you've got 2 strikers up, but actually of the 2 strikers, only one of them actually scored, but the other striker created 2 of the goals. So it was interesting. Yeah. Do we need 2 strikers up front, or Andy Johnson in the position as he was actually playing?
Yeah, fair point. What would you say?
Keep it as it is.
Keep it as it is.
Because, I mean, Andy can roam. he roams, and we'll be talking about Andy a little bit longer, but later on in the show. But I think keep it as it is, because it certainly worked. The scoreboard didn't know what to do. I had a call at 3. What do I do?
OK, Ars fans have already been in touch using hashtag LCI. Alex says most definitely stick with 2 up top. It gives us a chance to utilise arguably the 2 best strikers in the Championship in the same team. Interesting views there from Alex. Steve Thomas, I'd stay 4-4-2. Seems to work, so why not? Why would you change it, says Stevie Thomas. What else have we got? We got Monsieur Vocal. Monsieur Vocal. If Harry plays 4-4-2, he risks injury to one of the strikers and then only has one option and no tactical flexibility. So Monsieur Vocal is saying go back
but Harry
to
was only going to
4-5-1.
play. He only wanted to play 1 up front, but he's now playing the 2 up front, and it seems to be paying dividends.
Mitchell Wakeman says, I'd rather play Austin up front, use Hoylett and Phillips on the wings with the midfield 3 of Joey Barton, Gareth O'Neill and Tom Carroll. So Mitchell is saying to go back to 4-5-1. Very interesting mixed views. And Anthony Simmons says stick to 4-4-2. We can always change it if it's not working. But AJ was class on Tuesday. Keep him in the team and come on you Ars. Anthony, thanks for getting in touch. We want your views as well. Use hashtag LCI. Stick to 4-4-2 or go back to 4-5-1. Harry said after the game on Tuesday night that both formations have been very successful here at Loftus Road. So as we go into Saturday's game here in W12, he's spoilt for choice on the tactical front.
Yeah, but of course, but you say that, you know, we need to score goals. Our position at the moment, you know, we're second on goals scored. And so if we have 2 up front, we proved it on Tuesday that we got the 3 goals, and maybe that's the way we've got to look. We've got to get back those goals.
Yeah, fair point, Brian. OK, we've got to get it out of the way, so let's do it as quickly as we can. The week didn't start well. It was at Doncaster on Saturday, and here's what happened. OK, yeah, disappointing. Brian, it's hard to watch, isn't it? Because
actually, I turned away from it.
After the game, Harry said, we haven't played particularly well in the first half, but we were 1-0 up with a fortuitous goal. And he couldn't see anything other than a QPR win because we hadn't played well, yet we were 1-0 up. And I don't think too many people expected that turnaround.
Well, I expect, you know, Doncaster on the back of that loss against Charlton midweek, they wanted to be at home, they wanted to get back, start winning some games. And, you know, when you're playing teams like QPR, they do lift their game. And in the second half, they certainly did lift their game. And it was almost like we hadn't turned up in the second half again. You know, we do get those occasions. And very disappointing game. Let's just put it out. Let that be our bad run this season.
Yeah, we would take that. It's also interesting because I think it's only natural that you constantly look back to where were we in 2010-11. And sometimes I think it's because it's easy to remember the real highlights of our promotion winning season of 3 years ago. For instance, Adel Tarab's goals and performance in the Boxing Day win against Swansea, who obviously were our close rivals. And you remember games like that. But it's also worth noting that we had bad games in that season as well. You have bad games
patch this time
every
of the year.
season.
It started against Watford when we lost 3-0.
Yeah, that's right. And then we went to Leeds and lost 2-0. Yeah.
We do go through a bad patch, and you know. But we came out singing and happy at the end of the day. So let's get our bad patch. I don't really want to have a bad patch over the Christmas period again.
I wouldn't say there's a bad patch yet.
No, I just said that. Let last week be our bad patch.
Yeah, well, you definitely take that. I mean, again, also worth noting that 3 years ago, Scunthorpe finished bottom of the league 3 years ago and were relegated. They beat us 4-1. We scraped a draw against Bristol City. When we played them, I think we scored with 5 or 6 minutes left to equalise. At the time, I think they were bottom or second from bottom. Portsmouth, who were struggling, we scraped a draw with a late penalty at Fratton Park. So there are going to be those games that don't go to plan, if you like, and certainly you'd say Doncaster was one of them.
You know, last week I was expecting 9 points, so you know, 3 out of 6, and let's make it 6 out of 9.
Yeah,
You know, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. You know, we're still second in the league, and if, as I say, if the season finished today, it's not. We're promoted. And that's really all that matters.
Yeah. Well, that is the key, isn't it? You're right. It's about the gap between us and third, not about us and first. For me, I'd take second place all day long.
Absolutely, and of course, you know, it doesn't matter. You're not champions, but you're where you want to be. You're back in the Premier League, and you know, we're looking at the league table at the moment, and I think the dark horses. Earlier on, I was saying the dark horses are Leicester, and they're proving their worth.
I wouldn't say they're dark horses.
They were at the beginning of the season.
Right.
I felt they were. But the ones that are really coming through, Steve McLaren's Derby County. I mean, they've lost just one game, and that was against us, and they've really switched it around. 31 points, working their way up that table. I think they're going to be a little bit of a pressure. Yeah.
I think you are probably right. It's also amazing how much the table can change with 1 week to the next. We're going to go into the Bournemouth highlights, etc. in a moment.
I'm looking forward to.
But yeah, aren't we all? But after the Doncaster game, you're disappointed, and you look at the table and you think, oh, you know, we're slipping behind a little bit, and suddenly a gap's created, and then one more game, one more set of results, and it completely changes again. And we're in the best position we've been arguably all season now in terms of where we are and where in terms of getting away from third place.
Well, as I say, I'd like to have 50 points by Christmas, and then I feel happy when we got that 50 points.
Fair enough. We were hoping to speak with Jack Milner. A slight technical issue. I don't think we're going to be joined by Jack from possibly. He might be joining us later on in the show. But let's move on then. We've got Doncaster out of the way. Bournemouth was next up, and it was ideal really to get that opportunity to go out and play so quickly, wasn't it? Because you don't want to have a week of waiting for a game to come around.
And we'd have a show to talk about the Doncaster game. So let's be quiet. They did it for us.
Yeah. Okay. Let's remind ourselves what happened against Bournemouth on Tuesday evening.
Well, a very warm welcome to Loftus Road, where Queen's Park Rangers are going to be taking on Bournemouth. Pittman had won a header, and Sermon was bursting forward, and that's a slack pass as well by Richard Dunn. And here's Ritchie, he shoots wide. He really latched onto that match, Ritchie, with his... It's 0-0, and that is another beautiful pass by Dunn to put Simpson away down the right-hand side. Simpson's got bodies in the box, one of them's Austin. Austin's header, touched over the top by Camp. Terrific muscle strength from Austin to direct that header towards goal. His temper in check, and he's going to take this free kick down the left, 15 yards inside the Bournemouth half of the field. Here's the delivery into the penalty area. Dunn's flick is just over the top. Managed to get something onto it. Team to get another chance on goal to enable them to take the lead. They've only really had one to talk about so far as Johnson goes hurtling down that left-hand side, gets a cross in, looking for Austin, who brings it down and shoots and scores! Charlie Austin opens the account for this evening with a brilliantly taken goal, set up by his strike partner, Andrew Johnson, who got away down that left-hand side. Start of the first half. At the moment, they're struggling to get a foothold in the game. No flag here against Pittman to me as he drives into the penalty area, and he's trying to lift this towards goal from a tight angle. And here's Danny Simpson down the right-hand side, and Johnson wants it fed down that right channel. Here goes Andy Johnson towards the corner flag, beats one man, needs some help. Here's Simpson with a right-footed cross into the penalty area. It's going to drop to Hoylett. Here's a chance for Rangers from a tight angle. It's rolled in. Junior Hoylett's made it 2-0. It might have come off another player on its way through into the back of the net, but Hoylett managed to get enough of the football on target for it to trickle in at the far post. Danny Simpson's cross, and Hoylett, who's been quite quiet, has double. Well, here goes Arter, and he's keeping going for Bournemouth towards the edge of the QPR penalty area. He gets a shot in, which is saved by Green, down to his left, turns it around the post. Saturday afternoon, Blackburn, the next challenge for Queen's Park Rangers at Loftus Road on Saturday at 3 o'clock. Here it's 2-0 to QPR. And Charlie Austin is jumping to try and find Matt Phillips. Phillips does well, it goes past two. He's attacking the edge of the penalty area now, Phillips. He's inside the box and he drills it in! What a terrific goal by Matt Phillips, made entirely on his own. He's only just come on as well, and he's made this scoreline emphatic for Queen's Park Rangers. It's been a good night at Loftus Road, and Matt Phillips has cracked it in from the edge of the penalty area. QPR 3, Bournemouth 0. A wonderful strike by Matt Phillips.
That makes for enjoyable watching, doesn't it, Brian?
3 classic goals, weren't they? All as
yeah,
good as they were.
Yeah, there were 3 good goals. There's certainly the first one, Andy Johnson's involvement in that, and Charlie still had a lot of work to do, didn't he?
Yes,
bringing it down.
But he put it well. But he put it away well, and it came at the right time. You know, the crowd could have got a little bit agitated. We're not making that much noise anymore, are we?
Interestingly, today, Junior Hoylett was saying to Nadim Manua, did you see my dink for my goal? And Nadim said, no, I saw the deflection for your goal. And looking at it there, I think it was more of a deflection than a dink. But good for the two wingers to score. After Saturday at Doncaster, Harry came out and said, we need to be supporting Charlie Austin, because if Charlie doesn't score, QPR don't score. We need the midfielders and the wingers to start chipping in with goals. And the reaction is Matt Phillips comes off the bench to score, and earlier Junior Hoylett scores his second of the season as well. So, and they strike me as two confidence players.
You can see the confidence. Junior Hoylett's getting more confident each week, and I actually think the drop back down into the Championship is probably going to do his game the world of good, and you can see it out there. And of course, Matt Phillips, well, what a player he is. I'm enjoying watching him play. Yeah. And of course, Andy Johnson involved in both goals. Yeah,
and we just saw a teaser there, didn't we, of an incident that was a fairly major talking point. We're going to talk about that in a second.
Well, that wasn't the teaser.
Matt Phillips was fantastic, wasn't he, when he came on to see he scored the goal of the night, and you think what impact that could have on him going forward.
Well, definitely. I mean, he came on, and that confidence when he picked the ball up. He's such a strong player. And he worked his way through, and he found that place in the goal. It was just perfect. The timing was right. The crowd were overjoyed. 3 goals. Remember the last time we scored 3 goals? And it came at the right time. It really put Bournemouth to sleep, and thankfully we were able to maintain it. And a clean sheet again, another clean sheet.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually looked to see when the last time we scored 3 goals was, and it was in our first season back in the Premier League. We managed it twice against Wolves at Molineux, and we also beat Swansea towards the tail end of the season, 3-0 at Loftus Road.
That's a long time ago.
But yeah, obviously last season we didn't get a result like that, and up until this season, even though we're doing very well, it's the first time we've managed 3 goals, and it was great to see. And I think Harry would have been pleased with certainly the reaction of the entire team, but also the individual reaction of Matt Phillips, who was put on the bench, and Harry said afterwards, I rested him, brought him on his first touches on the pitch, he scores a great goal.
Yeah, and a really good goal. Each goal was as good, but maybe Matt Phillips' goal was the goal of the evening.
Yeah, I would agree with that. One of the talking points of the match, let's remind ourselves of this.
We need reminding?
Yeah, let's remind ourselves of this first half incident that occurred just before half-time. You look at it now, and I mean, it wasn't a major talking point because we went on to win 3-0, so it wasn't key, but you see there, it seems to be a handball.
I think it was a double handball.
Yeah. And
it was a scoop and another scoop, almost like
the referee has gone over to the linesman, the linesman's flagged, and clearly there seems to be, like you say, a scoop or a double scoop, as you called it, and was it a case of,
we're seeing it again
denying
now.
A clear goal-scoring opportunity?
That was the first touch, and then I think it came down. It was it was the second touch. Now, the referee would have seen it.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because
should have been watching.
It's a difficult one because how much did he know about it? He's falling. How much did he know about it? But regardless of that,
a handball in a penalty area.
It's denying a clear goal-scoring opportunity.
He was on a goal-scoring, yes. And I don't know what the linesman. I'm not going to call them assistant referee because he wasn't an assistant referee because he wasn't doing his job. He should have seen it, and he didn't. I think there was no excuse from either point not to give a penalty, or at worst, give a free kick at the edge of the box. But the free kick was taken in a completely different position to where the incident happened. So I don't know what the referee was doing and whether he lost the plot. And as I said on my Twitter, I think he was at the wrong. I thought for a moment he was at the wrong game.
My goodness, the views of Brian Melzack do not necessarily reflect those of Queen's Park Rangers Football Club.
But the fans may be.
After the game, Kevin Bond came up to speak to the press. He was asked about it, and here's what he had to say on the incident.
Real time, it just looked like he went down on the ground and scooped the ball, and the referee decided that he wouldn't give. Well, he'd give a free kick, but he didn't give anything else. And there's all sorts of stories about he couldn't identify who it was, so he couldn't do anything. And then he said that Charlie Austin didn't have real control of the ball. I don't know what that's got to do with it. I mean, he's got it in his hands. How can he have real control of the ball? He stopped him from having real control of the ball. I can't see that one. That's what the fourth official told me. So, anyway.
So Kevin Bond saying after the game that it was a case of they did say it was denying a clear goal-scoring opportunity, but it was a case of we're not sure who the guilty party was. Which
but there
player
was a guilty
involved.
party,
Yeah.
and between the linesman and the referee, they should have seen it. Thankfully, it falls into insignificance because we went ahead and won 3-0. And but the reality of it makes you question sometimes. And there are often times where referees don't see the most blatant, and I just wonder what referees need to do to be able to see these blatant incidents.
The results certainly went for us, didn't they, on Tuesday night? And we were talking earlier about how the table can change with one set of fixtures. And you look there, Sheffield Wednesday at home, obviously managerless after Dave Jones leaving.
Did us a favour,
They beat Leicester City 2-1. You wouldn't have expected that result. Burnley drawing 0-0 with Watford. Blackpool losing at Yeovil Town. Back-to-back wins now for Yeovil. 3 sent off for Blackpool.
That's an interesting one all at the end.
So
you know.
some big results there, and they certainly did go for us, whereas obviously a few days prior, QPR losing at Doncaster, not many people expected that, and results didn't go so well for us on that particular occasion, with Leicester getting the 3 points, although Burnley obviously slipped up last Saturday as well.
But we have been expecting Burnley to start slipping up. And I think
you might have.
I have been, yes. And I think it's just starting, and I think, you know, thankfully, against Huddersfield, they lost last week. And I think the slide and the slippery slide may be just beginning to set in. We'll have to wait until Saturday. I don't know who they've got this Saturday.
Burnley this weekend. I'm just trying to think. We'll have a look in a minute. But I don't know. You're saying you expect them to start sliding down. They got two strikers in form, and I mean, if they can stay, if they can stay fit, then they're always going to score goals.
I say the ones we've got to watch out for are Derby County. That, in my opinion, it's Derby County. They're playing sweet football.
They're playing
the sort of football that we were
well.
playing when Stephen Clown was here.
They're playing very good football.
Not saying we're not playing good football now. We're playing great football now. But
yeah, of course we got an excellent result Tuesday. We looked last night. Obviously, Derby got a last-minute winner, didn't they?
Yes.
1-2-1. So yeah, they moved comfortably into the playoffs now. Nottingham Forest slipping out of it, but I mean that's the thing.
A few
weeks ago, Forest was storming up there, weren't they? And now they seem to have slipped a little bit.
But you've got the Christmas period. You've got a lot of games coming in, and you know, as long as we can maintain where we are, I don't really care what goes on below us.
Yeah, fair point. The topic of debate this week is: we want you to decide. You're the manager after switching to 2 out-and-out strikers against Bournemouth. Do you think we should stick with that formation on Saturday? Also interesting, after the game against Bournemouth, the QPR players were certainly in happy mood. They took to Twitter after the game, a number of them, and gave their views, and you certainly got the sense that they were relieved to get back to winning ways so quickly, because after the defeat to Doncaster, obviously it's disappointing.
You can fall into the doldrums, can't you? You can suddenly find yourself in a rut and start losing games.
Tony Fernandez, the QPR chairman, just leaving Loftus Road 3-0, very satisfying, very happy. Since I became chairman, my biggest win. Great crowd, so a great,
he was very happy. I saw him on the way out, and he was really on top form.
Yeah, Tom Carroll, he's back in the side after injury, of course. Good win tonight. Nice way to bounce back from Doncaster. Buzzing to be back playing. Yeah, it was great to see him back. Obviously, he's been out for a number of weeks, so it was great to see him back.
Very nice touches during the game, from nice passing and great ability there.
Matty Phillips, obviously, he got on the score sheet. Delighted to have got off the mark tonight. Good response from the boys from Saturday. #3 points. So, despite not starting, he walks away absolutely buoyant.
He's done what he's meant to do.
It'll be interesting to see now, does Matty Phillips stay on the bench?
Interesting one. It's an interesting one.
He's going to be more confident now than ever, but are you going to change a starting lineup that ultimately went on to win so convincingly?
Yeah,
Joey Barton, good, solid home win again for us last night. Referee was lucky his major mistake didn't come back to cost us.
Good words there, by Joey. Agreed, because it could so easily have gone against us. You know, after that penalty decision, I was a little concerned with the players because they were getting a little flustered and they were going with some very heavy tackles, and I was worried that we would start getting players
but now the second half we were excellent. Danny Simpson, another solid performance by him, by the way. He's just your 7, 8 out of 10 man every week, isn't he? Great win tonight. So important to bounce back with a win after a defeat, and we certainly did that. And like you look at the 2 fullbacks, in fact, Danny Simpson and Benoit Asuakoto, they're just so consistent.
What quality on the ball! Absolute delight to watch. And actually seeing him with Armand Traoré on the same flank, that was just great to see.
And speaking of Benoit, I mean, that is seamless, isn't it? That is absolutely seamless.
The professional team behind the scenes.
What do you mean that was lucky? Benoit Asuakoto, great win tonight, 3-0 QPR. And he seems to be enjoying life at Loftus Road, doesn't he? He genuinely does seem to be.
But you watch him, and I'd love to have a camera watching him the whole game. That ability.
Benoit cam.
A Benoit cam, there you
Gary
are.
O'Neill, better, hashtag QPR, hashtag joint top, hashtag it wasn't 1-0. And again, Gary O'Neill, another player who comes in and he's just consistently does well. And we've spoken before about he's not regarded as one of the fancy midfielders, if you like. People talk about Hoyler and talk about Nico Cranchard, Tom Carroll, Matty Phillips, but Gary O'Neill's been exceptional as well.
Yes, but he's a true midfielder. He's a true midfielder.
And an important player.
Yes.
And Ali Fowler, of course, out for the season. He's keeping tabs on results. He's still out in Spain undergoing the first part of his rehab. Great win, good reaction, fully behind this staff and his players. Charlie Austin is on fire. Congrats to all QPR family, a step closer. So it's great to see Ali being lifted by that as well.
Charlie is on fire. He's almost scoring at will now.
Yeah.
And that's what we were hoping, you know, that little bit of a drought at the beginning of the season, but he's certainly making up for it.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you're talking a drought. I think it was 6 games, but because it's Charlie Austin, people think Charlie Austin 1 goal every 2 games.
But he's almost getting going that way.
Oh, he's pretty much there now, isn't he?
9 goals this season.
Oh, yeah, 10 in all.
Yeah, 10 in all.
Take that, absolutely take that. You're watching London Calling, brought to you in association with Equate.
It's a natural energy drink containing only natural ingredients, fruit juices, ginseng, guarana, green tea and just a nip of natural caffeine from the green coffee bean. And there's enough fruit juice in each can to give you 1 of your 5 a day. Need a natural lift? Try Equate.
OK, we've got plenty coming up in a minute. We've still got the Andy Johnson interview to come. We've still got the insider preview, the sneak peek. That's coming very soon. There's plenty in that. And remember, that's free. And also, the previous 3 editions you can download now, or you don't even need to download it. You can just watch it via online. So go to qpr.co.uk. and check that out. Issues 1, 2 and 3, all there, completely free. Issue 4 will be joining them very, very soon. We've got details of that coming up. But we've got to mention Andy Johnson, the debate about whether to go 4-4-2, 4-5-1, and that debate has been created by his impact.
His impact is, he's 31, 32 years old. I say this week in and week out when he's playing, he's like a 22-year-old playing on that pitch. He is fast, he's got vision, he's direct, and possibly my man of the match that day.
Andy Johnson.
Yeah, definitely. You don't have to score a goal to be man of the match.
Well, you don't know, absolutely. And you look at his involvement there for the first goal. Not many players could have created that because there wasn't much on for Andy Johnson when he's won that ball. And he chases lost causes and he turns them into chances as well, doesn't he?
Does.
Plenty coming in using hashtag LCI, using the social stream, using Twitter. Chris Guy, at Chris Guy QPR. I'd stick with 4-4-2, but I think Harry will go back to 1 up front. Tuesday was probably a one-off to suit Bournemouth's style of play. Kira has predicted 3 coins, which means 7 are going to fly towards the screen.
Yes.
The topic of debate after switching to 2 out-and-out strikers against Bournemouth, do you think we should stick with that formation on Saturday? Let's have a look. Josh Johnson would have been disappointed with anything less than a 2-0 when we played Bournemouth. One of the easiest fixtures of the season. Easy, Josh.
So no respect for Bournemouth
Josh
there.
continues in his rant on London Calling. A rant from Josh Johnson. Complacency got the better of us against Doncaster. We need to be consistent. Josh is absolutely livid. Just calm down, Josh. Just calm down. Oh, my goodness. Josh has continued his rant. Perhaps have an attacking player instead of 2 up top. Let's be honest, Bournemouth will be one of our easiest opponents. Josh is not convinced by the capabilities of the Cherries, it seems.
Well, we're going to have to wait until Saturday against Blackburn Rovers. It's going to be a tougher game against Blackburn.
Will QPR pound? He has predicted, out of 10, 0. Hashtag faith in Brian.
OK,
well,
he obviously wants to come to the game, doesn't he?
Not much. So give us your thoughts. Use hashtag LCI. If you want to win 2 tickets to Saturday's game here against Blackburn, we want to know how many coins you think Brian will successfully grasp. There'll be 10 coins starting on his elbow. He's got to try and grab as many as he can. Shrapnel's going to go everywhere. It's a dangerous game we're playing.
You were doing it upstairs in the office, I assume?
I wasn't, actually. No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't.
I think Dave probably had, and he probably ate 4.
Interesting. OK, Andy Johnson spoke to us after the game on Tuesday night. As we've said, an excellent performance by him. Be very interesting to see if he starts on Saturday against Blackburn. And here's what he had to say.
Well, AJ, we're just talking just after the 3-0 victory. against Bournemouth. Just give us your initial reaction to that.
I think it's just important tonight that we bounce back from a disappointing result the weekend. All the boys are disappointed in the way, the manner in which we lost, and the fact that we lost as well. Going like 1-0 up away from home and throwing it away in the second half was disappointing. So the mood's been a little bit down, but boys are fantastic in training yesterday. Everyone looked up for the game, and we've bounced back well. To come here tonight and beat a good like Bournemouth team convincingly. Could have been more as well. I thought we dominated the game. I thought we played well. I thought we stretched them. I thought we created chances. And it was really important that we got off to like flyer, and we did. Charlie got a great goal, and we went on from there. So it's really important that we bounce back from the weekend, and it's a big 3 points for us tonight.
You say about Charlie there, you and Charlie, you haven't had too much time together, but your link-up play is excellent.
Yeah, I played like the first 5 or 6 games, and then unfortunately got a little niggle on my hamstring. So and then I've had to wait my turn because the team's been playing really well. They've been winning games, and we've been dominating games with 5 in like the middle. So fortunately for me tonight, the gaffer's changed it around and thrown us in. And yeah, it's a delight to be back with Charlie tonight. We've got a good little understanding, and I always look for him and he always looks for me, so it's a sign of a good like partnership. But pleased that he scored again tonight. He's been on great form and he's been great for us.
And you mentioned there it was a convincing which it was. It was a totally different attitude from the first whistle today, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think we had to get after the game. We had to grab the game by the scruff of the neck, and I thought that's what we done tonight. I think we had to take the game to them. I don't think after the weekend there was any chance of like sitting back and waiting for it to happen. We had to go and make it happen tonight, and that's what we've got to do every week from now on if we want to win this league. We're more than capable of doing it. Results have gone great for us tonight. But like I say, no one's going to get their hopes up. We knuckled down again on Thursday. We've got a big game again on Saturday.
Was it a frustrating first half?
Today?
Yeah, start wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Minutes. I think like the first 20 minutes was quite a poor game. Not a poor game, stop, start, and then there was a big incident with which was a blatant sending off.
Yeah, what did you make of that? Yeah,
it was a sending off. I've put a ball through for Charlie, and Charlie's gone through, and if the lad don't bring him down, he goes through one-on-one with the keeper. So the rules of the book states that he should have been sent off, and I saw the linesman say to the ref that he was going to score if he didn't take him down, but I think they didn't know who it was in the end. That was their excuse, which is strange for me. You send someone off, and if you get it wrong, you sort it out after. But they should have been down to 10 men.
Have you ever seen anything like that?
No, it was quite strange. But like I say, you need to be professional about it. All of our lot kept our heads, and we went about it in a professional way, and we killed the game off anyway.
What did the manager say at half-time? Because Charlie and Joe was both talking to the ref when they came down the tunnel.
Yeah, I think everyone was a little bit frustrated, but in this game, I think half-time was a good breathing point for us to obviously gather our thoughts together, calm ourselves down, and like I say, we went about it in a professional way the second half, and we done the job.
And at 1-0 at half-time, you just sensed there was going to be more goals in the second half.
Yeah, of course, yeah. The forward play today was great. There was great some, interlinking play between like the midfield, the strikers, and like the fullbacks and stuff. And the fullbacks were getting forward. And it was a good second goal from Junior. And to put the icing on the cake, Matty Phillips deserved everything he got tonight. He's been fantastic since he's come in, and scored a great goal, so everyone's pleased for him too.
And we're still unbeaten at home. Loftus Road's becoming a bit of a fortress now, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. It's a hard place to come. The fans make it a hard place. So, it's a great atmosphere. It's a small pitch. It's intimidating, and any team here is going to, is going to play against the top side.
And we've got Blackburn on Saturday.
Yeah, certainly have. I'm sure they'll be up for it again because I just see that they got beat tonight. So it's going to be a tough game. Every game's going to be roll up your sleeves and similar and probably better than tonight.
Some very interesting views there from Andy Johnson, and also we're getting plenty of interest in how many coins you're going to manage to grab. Stephen Cockrell, Brian will catch 9 coins. If you're just joining us, we've got a competition to win 2 tickets to Saturday's game here at Loftus Road against Blackburn Rovers. All you have to do is tell us how many coins Brian will successfully grab and hold on to. 10 will start on his elbow. He's got to grab them like that. How many will he grab? 0 to 10. Stephen Cockrell's gone for 9. Paul the Wigmore, 3 coins for Brian the Lion. Michelle Dovey, 4 coins. Maverick 10, Brian will do 7 coins. Michael QPR Del Meadow, 7 coins. Josh Johnson, he's calmed down, I'm pleased to say. 1 coin for Brian. I'm sure. Oh my goodness! I thought Josh had calmed down. His rant continues. 1 coin for Brian. I'm sure he'll be as good as Bournemouth were on Tuesday. This is unbelievable, Josh. Incredible. Sean Walker, yes, keep 2 up front. Saw a great link-up play between AJ and Austin on Tuesday. Yeah. And to be fair. You look at what Andy Johnson was saying after the game. He said, we do seem to, I look for him, he looks for me. So it does work.
It is working.
It works as a good partnership.
And I do hope he starts. And
even the incident that we're talking about, that was created from Andy Johnson trying to pick out Charlie Austin.
Yes, that's right. That through ball to him. So, and as long as Andy can keep himself
fit,
and that really is the problem. You know, I feel that, you know, Andy Johnson, we missed him last season, and I still believe, you know, had he been there, he'd been that inspiration. But anyway, that's in the past. We're looking to the future, and here we are, second in the table, playing great football, enjoyable football, a team that looks like they're enjoying it.
Yeah, you talk about forgetting the past and looking to the future, which seamlessly brings me into Joey Barton, who has been incredible this season. And prior to the game on Tuesday night, he was awarded with the AirAsia Player of the Month for November from CEO Philip Beard. The second time he's won that Player of the Month award already this season, which is quite incredible. And it's voted by the QPR fans. And you think his relationship with the Ars fans towards...
This time last year.
Absolutely.
Yes.
After the Manchester City incident, etc., his relationship was far from great. And now he's come back, and we're what, 3-4 months into the season, and he's been voted by the QPR fans as Player of the Month on 2 occasions already.
Yeah.
Shows an incredible U-turn.
Well, look at that player. Look at him on the pitch. He's a completely different player. He's so mature, not getting into trouble, walking away from it, and calming the other players down.
Yeah.
You know, that is the change in Joey Barton.
Yeah, and you can't underestimate the impact that he is having on the squad. It's not only him playing well, but his presence is having a big impact on the players around him. Interestingly, Danny Simpson, who of course won promotion with Joey while they were at Newcastle in 2010, he said that when he came to the club, he contacted Joey and was urging Joey to stay with QPR because he understands not only what Joey brings as an individual on a match day, but also what he brings in the dressing room in terms of getting the squad together.
Yeah, I think he's inspirational and he's needed as a leader. And he's showing that on the pitch at the moment. And, you know, let's hope, and I think Harry was saying that there's no plan for him going in January. Let's hope he's with us till the end of the season, because he's a very integral part of QPR this year.
Would you say he's the key player?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah? Out of all the players, you would say he's the key one?
Well, no, we've got a lot of key players.
Yeah,
he's one of the key players.
He's one of the players, if he was to not be available through injury or something,
he would be missed. Yeah. And if you see the way the balls he's stroking, those passes, the control he's got, I actually think he's improved in the last couple of seasons as a player.
Yeah. Perhaps you're right. Simon, QPR Trendgrove, 4-4-2 is the best we've played for a long while. Andy Johnson is a different class. Ashley Allen, yes, definitely. Obviously, this is in regards to the topic of debate. We went 4-4-2 on Tuesday night, having switched from 4-5-1. We want to know what you would do. Would you stick with 4-4-2 after the result against Bournemouth? Ashley Allen says, yes, definitely. Proved very effective. It utilises all the quality we have. More and better. Need goals. So that's the debate. Give us your thoughts. Use hashtag LCI. Joey Barton is one of the main interviews in issue 4 of the Insider magazine. That's coming out very, very soon. There's plenty in there. We've got an exclusive interview with Joey. We've got an exclusive interview with Clive Allen. We've got an Ask the Lads feature with Peter Hucker, Ian Gillard, John Gregory and Steve Wicks. The 4 of them came to Loftus Road and sat round the table and just chatted about what it was like playing under Terry Venables, what it was like having Jim Gregory as chairman. There's plenty in there. Great to hear the stories that were coming out. That's all in issue 4 of the magazine. Plenty more besides. Rob Green and Phil Parks met up down at the Harlington training ground to discuss what life's like as a goalkeeper. Loads going on. Here's a sneak peek of what's inside.
I know used to come at half time. If you weren't doing well, he wouldn't dwell on it. He'd put it right. Absolutely. He wouldn't come in and say you should have done that there. Too late. You should. Yeah. He would come. The only time he ever did that, I think, was at West Ham once when he just walked in the dressing room. We were losing. Walked in the dressing room, walked straight through to the toilet. came back out, he went, "You're crap," and just walked back out again. That was it. Absolutely walked back. It's the only time I've ever seen him, so we must have been pretty poor that he couldn't even think to put it right.
We drew the game 2-2, but we could have easily have won at the end. But the goal was, it was probably one of the best goals I've scored in my career.
He wouldn't have spread around the country or anything. I mean, the perfect example is the World Cup. How you can't get on a bigger stage than that, and how you got over that. I've got the greatest admiration for you, because I don't know as I could have handled that.
I said, that was intense. That was a lot of people asking me a lot of questions. He said, well, there were about 4 billion people watching the game.
Terry Venables didn't mind Alan Mullery at all, but I don't think Mullery liked Venables at all.
No, there's a
and obviously everything that went on here, it was hard for us, having worked with Terry,
he tried to
step away from it, and he wanted almost, if Terry took us away on a Friday night, Alan Mullery didn't want to take us away on a Friday night. Yeah. He almost did exactly the opposite of whatever Terry did.
Burton seems to have lashed out at Tevez.
I realised I was going to get sent off, so my perverted thought process was, if I can get one of their players to bite on it and react, then we're going to be 10 apiece, which gives QPR a better chance.
And Joey Barton stares controversy in the face again.
What would I say to myself as a fan? I don't know, I'd have been disappointed. I don't blame anyone for criticising me because I deserved it.
Listen to the cheer going round the ground here. This is a little bit cool.
I remember I played against Liverpool and was terrible, and the crowd booed me off, which didn't help but was probably deserved.
Cheer is that Joey Barton's going off.
You stop becoming a self-obsessed egomaniac, which I could have been labelled as before. It became a breaking point when I thought, you know what, I'm trying to please everybody, I'm trying to be everyone's friend, I'm trying to help everyone in the team, and basically, I'm done with it.
That's all coming in issue 4 of The Insider. It's available very, very soon, and it's completely free to download. Issues 1, 2 and 3 are already available. Go to qpr.co.uk for details on how you can download them. Issue 4 has got, as you can see from there, plenty inside, so well worth a look at. Well, it's free, so why wouldn't you? Have a look, see what you think. There's plenty of videos in there as well, and it'd be great to get your feedback on areas that you think we could improve the magazine. We always want that as well, so get in touch with us and let us know what you think when you do download the magazine, which I'm sure you will. Brian, you will, won't you?
Of course I will, and a quick congratulations, John Gregory, back in management.
Yeah, absolutely.
All happened just
great to see.
before. It's good to see. They've been managing abroad, and since QPR, he's been in Israel and all over the place, and he's back here. So wish him every success.
Yeah, absolutely. Second that. Hopefully he will do very well with Crawley. And while we're in the mood for reminiscing, the 2003-4 squad, they made a return to the pitch. Did you enjoy that?
It was lovely. It really was. I think some of them would like to have been out there playing on Tuesday night, but it was so good to see the old faces. And that time back in 2003, 2004 was such a great time for QPR. It was on the back of some really, really bad years. Administration, uncertainty, whether we were going to be in existence or not. Rodney Marsh at that time was predicting that we'd end up being a Conference League club. I don't know if you remember that.
No, I don't.
Yeah, it came out on Sky Sports to say that we will end up in the Conference League. Thankfully, he was wrong, but it was a great era, having been through the doldrums for so many years. With the club, and it was just like a resurgence and a start of a new beginning. And it's because of what they did, they were actually sitting here today, and we had that ability to go into the Premier League. They sort of set the foundations for the future.
Yeah, well, they got a richly deserved and great reception from the QPR fans who were here at Loftus Road on Tuesday night. They came out at half-time and embarked on a lap of honour. But here's some footage from the night as they all came out onto the pitch once again. They got a great reception, Brian.
Great reception. Wonderful.
Your memories of that season?
Wonderful season. As I said, it was a resurgence. It was the start of a new era. Ian Holloway, you know, Kenny Jackett, great managerial setup. You know, Steve Palmer. He was a captain. He was a stabiliser. You know, you've got your Richard Dunns in the team today. He was a stabiliser. And just looking at the team, it was just an enjoyable season. It was an exciting season. And it was all down to that last day against Sheffield Wednesday. And it was a great time. And it gave us all that element of confidence back again, you know, that the club can go somewhere. Because we were really in a rut at that time.
Mark Bircham said recently it was basically just like a group of mates playing football together. There does seem to be incredible closeness amongst them.
I remember when we got relegated that season, our last game was against Wolverhampton Wanderers at Molineux, and I was with the team the last day, and Lee Harper and a bunch of others, Carl Leddy and all the other players that were there, and I knew that would be the last time this team would ever be together. And I thought, how long would it take before, you know, we have a team with that same understanding, that same friendship? And I just didn't believe that a couple of years later we would have that. And of course, you know, we're lucky we had QPR players, fans playing, you know, Kevin Gallen, Mark Bircham, you know, Rowley, and, you know, they're QPR through and through. And again, that's an exceptional. I think we're very, so you're getting the money ready, we're very fortunate that we had players at that time that were QPR fans. So not only were they playing football for football, but they were playing for the badge, because it was the badge that they'd grown up with. And I think we're very fortunate. But it was a wonderful season. It was a wonderful era, and too many of the games were just so exciting. And Gareth Ainsworth, you know, a wonderful player. You're waiting.
Do you think there's a similarity between the team spirit that existed then and now?
Yes, definitely. Definitely, 100%. You can see it out there. You know, players that we've got today are playing for the badge. They're playing for the fans. They're playing for the team. They're not playing, as we know players can do, for themselves. And I'm absolutely convinced it could be a replication, in a way, of the team, although the expectations are a little bit more today than we had back in 2003, 2004. But I do believe, and you can see it with the body language out there, it is very similar to how it was back that season, and that's what you need for success.
Speaking of success, Brian, this is it. This is the moment we've all been waiting for.
Yes.
We've got 10 coins here. Let me just check. Let me just verify. There are 10 coins here, and what we want Brian to do is to put them on his elbow.
Oh, you're not going to put them on
and
for me? Okay.
Flick them round.
Bloody cheek of it.
Well, see, I don't have any involvement. Flick them round, and then see how many you can catch in that sort of motion. That sort of motion. It's simple.
Yes.
I practiced 3 times, got 10 every time.
Of course you didn't.
Simple. I did it with my son Aidan. He did it twice. He got 8 on the first, and then 10 on the second. So we've had a varying amount. We've had a varying amount from 0. We've had a varying amount from 0 up to 10 have been predicted. This is for 2 tickets to Saturday's game against Blackburn here at Loftus Road. As we've already pointed out,
no cream crackers in there, are there?
As we've pointed out in previous shows, if there is if 2 or more predict the same amount, then we'll pick one at random. And we'll announce the winner in a few minutes, actually, who's won tickets to the game. Well, Brian, without any further ado...
Let's go. I've got to sit down and do this.
Right, OK, well, now, the key here, I'll help you...
Is the hand movement.
No. The key here is to make sure that is level, because otherwise you're going to lose them before even starting. You have one go at this.
OK.
Notice, you know this is going to be complicated. So you need them... No, so you need to go back, right back.
OK,
so
there
we go. There we go. Right, when you're ready...
How far away am I from looking at my hand there? No, Cameron, you've got to put them on properly.
we got 2 left. All right, hang on.
You'll put them on properly.
Hang on.
I'm going to just move over a little bit.
Hang on. You have to bear with us on this. You have to bear with us. There's absolute chaos. There's pandemonium.
I'm going to move across.
There's pandemonium.
This is live TV.
Brian's tried to steal 27p.
Go and get some nosh.
Right, we're going to try again. While we're trying again,
that's better.
While we're trying again, Brian, what's your prediction for Saturday?
Well, I'm hoping that if we play 2 up front, we'll get another 2 or 3 goals, as long as we just have a... What are you laughing at in the back?
Yeah, go on.
They're laughing away to their heart's content. The prediction is I'd like us to win by about 2.
OK, you're going to have to move back, get your elbow.
OK, yeah.
Whoever's gone for 0...
OK.
Oh, my God, you can't even balance them. Oh, my God,
Ready?
go on. Brian Mel Well, Zach. Well, I tell you what, no one, well, I'm going to say no one, someone predicted 10 because I saw it myself.
Yeah.
Someone's predicted 10. I don't think too many people predicted 10.
No.
But that's what we got. That was incredible.
It was,
you couldn't even balance them to begin with. Toying with us.
Toying with your boys. Toying with your boys.
You little flirt. Incredible. OK, well, we're going to pick out a winner in a moment. In the next couple of minutes, we'll pick a winner out from those who have guessed. Thanks for all your guesses on there. And now, Brian, looking ahead to Saturday's game against Blackburn.
You asked me the question and I was more concentrated. What was the question you asked?
Now looking ahead to Saturday's game against Blackburn, what do you think?
Well, I mean, look, we want to come back from winning on Tuesday. We've proven we can score goals, and I say if Harry does play two up front, and I think, I hope he does. Blackburn haven't been playing too well, have they? They've lost. I think they've won one on the road.
Yeah, they've only won one on the road. Yeah, they've won one on the road all season, which was against Bournemouth, 3-1 win. And their last 5 fixtures, they drew 1 and lost 4 of their last 5. So that's on the road. So they're not in great form, but it's difficult because you can drive yourself bananas with stats, and I admittedly am guilty of that. But then, Doncaster happens, or Sheffield Wednesday beating Leicester happens, or, I mean, Millwall beating Blackpool when Millwall were rock bottom and Blackpool were top right at the start of the season.
I think on the back of Tuesday night, I mean, we're going to be on, we're going to be firing. We've got, if Andy Johnson can start, and we can replicate what we did on Tuesday night. I'm going for 2 or 3. I'm looking now for 3 goals because we've shown that we can score more than 2 goals in a game. So let's keep our fingers crossed. It's important because we're then going to we're away at Blackpool. It's the 3 Bs, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bournemouth, Blackburn, and
Blackpool. Yeah, very
yes,
good.
Yes.
Look at Will QBR Pounds devastated. Brian always does the complete opposite to what I predict. Although you normally predict 112.
Yes.
So we're going to find a winner very, very soon, and we'll give you details of that in a second.
Nobody's put 10, haven't they? Really?
And also, it's worth noting there are still tickets available for Saturday's game against Blackburn. 08444 777 007 is the number that you need. 08444 777 007. There are tickets still available for Saturday's game here at Loftus Road against Blackburn. Of course, after that, we're away to Blackpool, and then we're right into the Christmas fixtures, aren't we?
It's tight there, isn't it, with the first game, isn't it, against Leicester City?
Yeah, I mean, and we've got a run of games there up against teams up and around us, so there's 4 really difficult fixtures.
And we've got the derby against Watford, at Watford, on the 29th.
Yeah, exactly, and we've got Forest in there as well, obviously, on Boxing Day. Yeah, that's right.
I mean, it's nice to be on TV, but it does sort of take away your traditional 3 p.m. kickoff.
Yeah.
Which we do like the 3 o'clock kickoff.
I tell you what, if you're a football traditionalist, I mean, you've got to almost just bite the bullet on that because football has changed crazily over the years.
Your thoughts for Saturday?
I think because we're home and because we've done so well at home, the natural thing, and because Bournemouth, because Blackburn are struggling, I immediately think, well, the obvious thing is to predict a home win. But because it's so obvious, that's what concerns me.
Yeah, I suppose so. Well, we had that again with Doncaster. We thought we were going to go and it was going to be an obvious win. Not doing too well, Doncaster, and of course this is football. This is why it's so unpredictable. That's why it's such a wonderful game. So our predictions may mean nothing, but I'm hoping they mean something.
What's your prediction?
Well, I'd like to see us get another 3 goals. So I'm actually going to go for 3-0.
3-0.
I really am, because I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing from Tuesday night.
Brian is absolutely buzzing from catching 10 coins. And Michael Pittman, congratulations at Pitcakes. I mean, that is ridiculous. Change your Twitter handle, at Pitcakes. I think this is made up. Michael Pittman, congratulations to you. 10 coins, correctly predicted. If you get in touch with Adam Holm, adamh@qpr.co.uk, he'll have your 2 tickets. You give him a pit cake, and everyone is happy. Right, we're pretty much right out of time. Prediction is a 3-0. I'll go for a narrow 1-0. Don't forget, if you want the latest team news, we've got a press conference tomorrow, starting at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Harry Redknapp's pre-match press conference to look ahead to the game against Blackburn. So the very latest team news. No doubt he'll be asked about whether he'll be sticking with 4-4-2 or going 4-5-1. And no doubt he'll be changing. No doubt he'll not be revealing what his plans are, but it'll be interesting to get his thoughts. That's at 10 o'clock. And just before we go, I mean, I hadn't forgotten, Brian.
Go on, then.
The stat of the week. This is the moment everyone's been waiting for. Here it is, the stat of the week going into Saturday.
Charlie Austin's 10th goal of the season on Tuesday was the fastest that any QPR player has got to double figures for the season since Andy Thompson in the 2001-2002 campaign.
So there you go, we're talking about how well Charlie Austin's done. He's got to 10 goals this season, the quickest it's been managed in more than 10 years since Andy Thompson.
So that's a long 10 years ago.
Yeah, more than 10 years, yeah, I think it's 2002. So it just, again, highlights what an impact Charlie Austin has had.
Yes, well, we said
and
that.
it's been a vital impact because of the 1-0s as well, when you look at it.
Absolutely, yeah.
So hopefully he can continue his recent goal-scoring form.
He's on form, he's just knocking them in at will now.
Yeah, so fingers crossed he'll continue that on Saturday. As I say, the Harry Redknapp press conference is tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock. That'll be streamed live right here on ustream.tv/official QPR, completely free, so tune in to that if you can, and we will see you next Thursday, same time, same place here on London Calling.